All right, Brian Banks, right there. This is a new movie that came out last weekend, and I am ready to review it for you right now. Here we go.
Boy Reviews!
All right, so Brian Banks. This is what I would consider a small-time movie. I'm not sure if too many of you know about it, but it stars one of my favorite little-known actors named Aldous Hodge, right here. Aldous Hodge, he is known for, in my mind, he's known for a little show called Leverage that used to be on TNT, probably ended about 8 or 9 years ago. But he played a computer hacker in that series, and I always thought he was a great actor. He's had smaller roles in some bigger films here and there, but he gets a chance to star in Brian Banks. Brian Banks is a true story, a very sad, tragic true story of a football player who played in high school. He was destined for greatness. He had a scholarship handed to him from USC. He was a linebacker. He was ready for great things. And then he was wrongfully accused of something very serious by another female student that he knew and he was friends with, or at least acquaintances with. And because of that wrongful accusation, he, long story short, gets to jail, spends 6 years in jail after following some really bad lawyer advice, and he comes out house arrest for about 5 years on probation, and he's registered. I'll just leave it at that for my younger audience. He's registered, and that has ruined his life. He can't get a job. His friends who he meets, they learn about certain things. They stay away, understandably so. And his life is just ruined. Forget about a football career, which he would have had. He has no college career. He has nothing going on right now. And so this movie tells a story about how he is trying to reclaim his innocence. And that's basically the movie. Now, he gets involved with the California Innocence Project, and Greg Kinnear, right there, he's in this movie. He plays the main lawyer, and he does a great job. All I remember about his character's name was Justin, because that's what he told Brian Banks to call him. But Justin, he is played by Greg Kinnear, who was a much bigger actor about 10 or 12 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. But he delivers a great performance, a great Greg Kinnear performance, if you're familiar with his work. But this movie has a whole lot of heart, a whole lot of redemption to it. And Aldous Hodge, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 scenes, I felt he truly delivered in this role. I believe he is the biggest part of this movie that really makes it a successful movie, in my opinion. I love this movie. I showed up a few minutes late, but I was instantly involved in the movie. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's not a simple story. It's a simple production. And that's the interesting part. This movie is directed by a guy named Tom Shadyac. I wonder how many of you know that name before I tell you what movies he's done. He is most famous for movies like Bruce Almighty and Ace Ventura and things like that. He has not done a movie since 2010, but this is a very serious drama. And he does a very good job with the direction of this movie. This movie, it really got to me. It definitely caused me to tear up more than one time. That might have been because I was just really tired because I watched a late viewing, but I really believe it was because of the emotion of the film, the passion of these actors telling this story. It's a tragic story, like I said, but it delivers in all the ways you want it to. And then at the end, when you watch this movie, stay for the ends. There's not like an end credit scene that you have to see, but there's a lot of real footage they show from the real Brian Banks, who this happened to. That part is really awesome. But overall, I love this movie. So as far as my grade goes, I know it's going to sound pretty high to you, especially if you see my other reviews, but I'm going to give this movie, that's right, an A-. I really enjoyed this movie. A movie does not have to be a huge blockbuster for me to give it an A or an A-, but I believe it earns that score. I love this movie all the way through. There was only one problem I had with the production of this film, and that was this guy, this actor I've never heard of before. His name's Jose Vasquez. He played the District Attorney Mateo. He was horrible. He had one look on his face the whole time. No joke. He did that the entire movie, and he wasn't in that much, but in the third act, he was in it quite a bit. And he does that face the entire time. He does not show any acting range if he has it. Jose, sorry for bashing you, but that was a bad performance. And it kind of reminded me of a Tom Shadyac performance from an earlier villain, maybe, from an earlier comedy that he would have done. But in this movie, it just didn't fit. It was very out of place. That was my only problem with it. but the story is fine. There's some stuff that happens with the parole officer that I thought was definitely Hollywooded up. But other than that, great movie. I definitely recommend it. It's still in theaters, probably not for much longer. When I went, it was a nice, quiet evening. There was very few people in the theater, and I prefer it that way. It helps me to enjoy it and kind of make it more of a personal experience when I'm watching a movie. Please do me a favor, and if you like this review, if you like the movie and you like this review, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on this review. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to our Born Review channel. We have many more videos to come. We have many more videos that are on there that you haven't checked out yet, especially a lot of our reactions. Give those a check out. Leave us some comments. And until next time, adios.
Born Reviews!